r/NoSleep. Posted by you/do not mind me 1111. How to play. Thank you for downloading Fun and Games with FunBun. While playing, you and your lovable rabbit friend will go through countless mini-games. Each copy of the game, and the mini-games it has within, is different for each person so every player can have a unique experience. Unfortunately, that's become a problem as of late, as we seem to have discovered multiple glitches and bugs that we didn't program in. Before playing, here are some things to keep in mind to tell what's meant to happen and what's a glitch. Just know that there might be a glitch on this page, too, which cause some more words to be added. Stop reading after you reach section 8. 1. Meet our hero. Make sure to remember the iconic appearance of our adorable protagonist, FunBun. He's a short, humanoid rabbit with golden fur, long and floppy ears, a wide smile, cartoonish eyes, white gloves, red shoes, and brown spots around his eyes, ears and stomach. He's usually wearing a red bow tie and his gloves and shoes never come off, but if his outfit changes throughout the game, or he's wearing a different outfit when you boot up your copy, that's completely normal. Just know that his body isn't supposed to change even slightly. If his smile is wide to the point it looks like it should be painful, if his ears are a bit too long and thin, if his gloves and shoes look less like accessories and more like part of his body, if he can't take his eyes off you, it might be best to stop playing. 2. Learn his abilities. FunBun can use his ears like appendages to pick up objects. Just remember, other than that, they're supposed to stay low to the ground and not move. If they can't stop wriggling, something has gone wrong. And although he has dialogue that's directed towards you while you're playing the game, and he tends to ask you questions on what to do next, he isn't supposed to ask you anything personal about yourself. Although, sometimes, it won't even need to ask. And remember, it's okay if he asks you to input your first name. You should only be worried if it asks for your middle and last name, too. 3. Play games. The game randomly generates endless mini-games for you so the fun can last forever. You'll be guiding FunBun through each one. These games might include singing, dancing, slaying a dragon, adventuring through space, and so much more. Just know that you're only supposed to be controlling FunBun. If the game creates its own avatar for you, one that looks just like you, stop playing immediately. It won't be safe to turn off the game at this point, so just don't let your character move. It will eventually decide to try something else, and the avatar will disappear. 4. Meet NPCs. Throughout your adventures, you'll meet a colorful cast of characters. Some of these are the ones in charge of the mini-games, asking you for favors and giving you quests. If FunBun asks you to do anything violent to the NPCs, don't. You might not think you're doing anything to real people, but if you've ever been wronged by someone in the past, or have had any negative thoughts towards anyone lately, you very much will be. These people will always be represented by commonly detested animals. Perhaps a bully is represented by a snake, a tattletale represented by a rat, an ex-lover represented by a slug, and these characters quite literally represent them. If you were to, say, shoot an NPC that looks like an ant, you'll wake up the next day, assuming you follow these instructions enough to wake up at all, to news that kid who annoyed you in middle school was found dead with a bullet wound in their head. It might even ask you to put these people through something much worse than death. It might not even be to people you hate. Maybe you're okay with that, but we want to believe you aren't that kind of person. At least the thing posing as FunBun will think of you as a fun playmate. 5. Make the right choices. As mentioned in 2, FunBun may ask you for personal information. In these situations, either lie to it or refuse to answer. Of course, there are some things it may know already, besides your full name. It will construct its own mini-games for you with the information it knows, either based on your most regretful memories, or your darkest fears. This is likely where the aforementioned NPCs tied to real individuals will appear. If you play the mini-games it has based on your memories, completing them will allow you to change your past and fix anything bad that happened to you. Do not play them. Put the controller down until it moves on. It will always add some sort of horrible condition each time it lets you fix whatever tragedy befell you in the past. You made it so your parents were no longer divorced? Now they're back together, but only because the entity posing as our mascot came to them and told them it'd kill you unless they're remarried. Now they're both stuck in constant fear and misery, knowing they can even show a hint of unhappiness. You brought your friend back to life? Congrats, now they're constantly rotting, begging you to kill them again. And never give it your real name. If you've refused to play along enough, it will trap you within your own mind, filled with everything you've ever feared. Hopefully someone will come around and kill you at some point, instead of putting you in a hospital when they see your comatose body on the ground in the vain hope you'll wake up. Death will be your only escape at this point. 6. Take a break. We hope you're having tons of fun, but it's a good idea to get up and stretch your legs every once in a while. Grab yourself some snacks, get something to drink, relax outside for a bit. You should make sure the rest of your house is still there. You may notice the rest of your house is very dark. Maybe it's just one room. Maybe it's just one corner. Maybe every single room besides the one you're playing in is engulfed by darkness. These places now cease to exist. This only happens when you stop looking at your surroundings for too long. Don't step into the darkness. You will fall into it, and you will keep falling, reality getting further and further away. There's only one thing that can get you out now, and you don't want it to get its hands on you. Just stay in your room if it's the only thing that's left. You will get a chance to turn everything back to normal, C8, although it's very unlikely you'll survive it. 7. Know your limits. Users with trauma, with regrets, with any sort of hatred towards other people are the ones whose copies have been corrupted. If you have some kind of emotional problem, you should likely avoid playing entirely. It will think of you as an easy mark. 8. End the game. You can try turning off the game if you notice something strange when you start playing, but unless it sees you as an extremely boring playmate, it will likely turn the game back on. To survive its games and ensure you don't let it hurt someone else, refusing to answer or move entirely has proven to be effective at boring it until it gives up. But it may not leave you alone if you've refused to play its games properly. You may have made it angry. For this reason, it's best to grab a weapon. If Funbun turns towards your screen and appears to run towards the camera, grab your gun, or other weapon of choice. An AK-47 may be your best option, as you need to stay away from it while unloading dozens of bullets into it to put it down. It will emerge from your screen, and it will only barely resemble the cute character it was posing as. It's quite the horrendous sight when it's not appearing as a bunch of pixels. Assuming you can collect your thoughts enough while staring at its tall, withered body, tendrils, and gaping maw, attack it until it disappears into a cloud of pixels. It's not dead, and we don't think it ever can be, but it will leave you alone from now on. You've proven yourself to be annoying enough to it that it won't come back. 9. Multiple endings. If you made your best friend, Funbun, happy through his special games, you'll have proven yourself as the perfect playmate. You'll have proven yourself to be just like him. Funbun will offer you your very own place in his special world at his side, and you'll be together forever. You'll get back at everyone who wronged you, and you'll live in a world where you get everything you want. In return, Funbun will take a peek into your world in the meantime, using your body as his own while you're in paradise, spreading himself through your electronic devices, and find more games to bring to everyone. He'll take care of everyone else while you're away. You should know I get stronger with every piece of data I consume, and each soul that joins me in my world. You should know some of this is outdated. You should know that what once worked before no longer does. Next story of this video. Posted by u/SpaghettiNoodle. Updated guidelines for Inside the Zone's research teams. It has come to our attention that researchers within the zones have been slacking, for lack of a better term. In this line of work, there is no room for error, and this is absolutely unacceptable. So, this email is being sent out as a reminder to all researchers of the rules and regulations for working within the zones. Rule 1. You are never safe within the zones. Any of them. It doesn't matter if the particular zone you're in has been cleared by a ZCT, you are never safe. Don't ever relax or think you are safe. Even if your assigned post is right by the exit or some other sort of beacon that would make you feel safe in any other situation. There is nothing we can do if you falter because you are lulled into a false sense of security. Rule 2. Don't go into the dark unless you are a ZCT member or accompanied by a ZCT member. We'd prefer it if you didn't go into the dark areas at all unless you're a ZCT member, but if you absolutely must, do not go in without a ZCT member. Rule 3. The ZCT are the only employees cleared to engage with anything organic and alive. They are trained in engagement and know what to do when it comes to the entities within the zones. Rule 4. If you encounter anything organic that isn't contained or an employee, maintain your distance and alert the nearest ZCT member. Whether it appears to be mold, plant matter, or an entity. Rule 5. Don't touch anything with your bare skin. Wear the company issue hazmat gear at all times. If you've been here long, which most of you have, then you know what happens to someone when the things we work with make contact with bare skin. Rule 6. Make peace with your inner demons. They may be your only comfort if you make contact with anything organic within the zones. If anything organic has made contact with an open wound or mucous membrane, It's already too late. We're not sure if you die or not. We don't even know if the entities in the zones could even be considered alive, much less sentient. Rule 7. If you enter a dark area or the lights go out, stay silent. Hold your breath if you have to. Don't even risk alerting a ZCT member. They will respond in the event of a power outage. Find a corner and stay there, no matter what you see and no matter what you hear. Do not move from that corner until the lights come on and a ZCT member arrives to retrieve you. Rule 8. If you see an entity starting to glow bright red before you've had a chance to retreat, or if you see a flashing red light in the dark, press the silent alarm button located on your company issue's wristwatch and run. Preferably not into the dark. This is a situation only the ZCT can handle. You have no chances of survival. You do not have the training and you do not have the weaponry to engage a hostile entity. You will die. Rule 9. Do not meddle with other employees. Each zone employee type has their own set of rules to follow and job duties to fulfill. Rule 10. Especially do not mess around with the ZCT. They are your lifeline. They will lay down their own lives for you, but you must show them the courtesy of doing your job. If everybody sticks to their assignments, minimal or no lives should be lost during the expedition. Rules for contamination. Despite our strict protocols and procedures, there are always hidden variables inside of the zones that are unavoidable. Pieces of organic matter can mutate and manifest into full-blown entities, which is why we put in rules 3 and 4. Even something as simple as your own hair follicles can manifest into an entity if it makes contact with the outside of your hazmat suit. With that being said, contact should be a minimal risk, so as long as you remember the rules. But, if you're contaminated in any way, you must follow the guidelines below if you wish to see the outside again. If you're contaminated and the matter didn't get into an open wound or mucous membrane, there may be a slim chance of hope for you if you act quickly. First, you need to find the nearest decontamination pod. Enter it and close the door. Don't worry about alerting a ZCT member, the pod activating will already alert that zone's ZCT. Second, take a deep breath and prepare yourself. Decontamination is going to hurt. It's not as simple as a hot chemical shower. Well, that is the first step. But decontamination also involves many other steps. But only one of them is painful. It's been described as similar to full-body cauterization. Painful, but you'll need to deal with it to live. It's your only chance. Third, if you are in a dark area or the lights go out upon entering the decontamination pod, it is still imperative that you remain absolutely silent. Even as decontamination is happening. The pods don't run on electricity, so decontamination will still continue even if the lights go out. And they are not soundproofed. The pod itself may be silent, but you on the other hand, the entities can still hear you. 4. Once in the pod you will feel many sensations. Among one of them is the feeling of something sharp and metal pressed against your forehead angled downward. If the pod detects that decontamination is failing, it will grant you mercy with a metal rod piercing directly through your brainstem. You will not know if decontamination failed beyond maybe a brief sharp sensation piercing your skull. Follow up to 4. If you are in a decontamination pod with others around you and the power goes out, the mercy rod can be activated manually. Failure be damned, if you make too much noise. The ZCT will prioritize the uncontaminated ones. You will be treated with the mercy rod if you jeopardize their mission. With all of this being said, if you just stick to your job assignments, don't stray from the post, and remember the rules, you should be just fine. Remember, this is what you signed up for. The knowledge hidden within the zones is invaluable and will help modern science by leaps and bounds. That is why we do what we do. Do your jobs. Sincerely, Miranda, Senior Zone Compliance Specialist.